Ready?
I think so.
Right. Guys, welcome back to the channel. Table Talks here at Natural Gains. I've got my guest, Sarah, here. I've known her since 2019. She is a self-employed beautician. She has done an incredible transformation, and she's also extremely positive in our local community, supporting women, being an advocate for mental health, and that is why I wanted to get you on today. So, welcome to the channel. That's all right. Yes, as I just explained to them, the reason why I wanted to get you on is because I think you are a beacon of light for our local community, and I think your mindset and your motivation that you provide is incredible. I wanted to start with the fitness aspect today.
Yep.
Talk to me about your transformation, because as I said to them, you did lose a considerable amount of weight, like over 20 kilos to maintain the physique you're at now.
Yeah.
So talk me through that process. Like what made you want to transform your whole life from where you was to now? Like what was the...
I think the trigger was, well, first off, when I first started,
Yeah.
it wasn't a happy weight loss.
Okay.
It was an unhappy weight loss.
Mhm.
There's a difference
Yeah.
in healthy habits and unhealthy habits,
Mhm.
I think.
Yeah.
And I was struggling with food in general
Okay.
because I saw food as an enemy at that
Mm.
time, because I was quite big and I used to get like quite bad comments thrown at me about
Okay.
it. So then it kind of hit home, and I wasn't in a great place at the time.
So when you say unhealthy habits, what sort of weight loss tools did you try at the very beginning that you're saying are not great?
Not eating.
Okay, so you would just fast,
No,
you just wouldn't eat?
Yeah, I just used to think that
Yeah.
food was against me, because
Mhm.
when I would eat, I'd gain or stay the same.
Yeah.
So I didn't know anything about nutrition. I just
Mhm.
thought food was bad.
So
at the time.
what would you literally like not eat for 2 days, and then would that cause you to binge?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so then I would get to a point where I wouldn't feel too great, have
Mhm.
a low energy, my hormones be all over the place, mood swings,
Yeah.
all of that type of stuff. And then, yeah, I'd just eat bad,
Mhm.
so bad. And
No, I hear you. So how have you maintained it now? So obviously you've lost the 20 kilos, and what I love about you is that you're able to maintain it. So how are you maintaining it at the moment? Like what's your fitness regime at the moment? I know because you've got a business,
Yeah.
you've got a child, how are you maintaining it? Because a lot of people always say to me they haven't got enough time for the gym, and you're running a full business, you're looking after a child, and you're also maintaining your whole fitness regime. So talk to me about your week. Like how does your week look in terms of your fitness?
well, I'll be honest, I
Yeah.
didn't know anything about nutrition until I met you.
Yeah.
And that's not even me just saying
I'll
it.
take that,
That's
I'll take that, I'll
that's
take that.
me
That's a
being
win.
genuinely honest. I didn't have a Scooby about calorie surplus or
Yeah.
deficit or all these things. And obviously with social media and things like that, it's coming more to light now about how to lose weight
Yeah.
in a healthy way, being able to eat what you want pretty much, but stay in a calorie deficit to
Yeah.
obviously keep your calories down to lose weight. But now I've got kind of like a routine, which is the healthiest way of
Yeah.
life anyway, is to just stick in a routine. I train by myself like 3 times a week, and
Okay.
then other times I just do classes because I find them quite
Yeah.
motivating.
So it's those 3 times resistance training, like lifting weights? Because I know, like with the female viewers, a lot of people are confused about weights and cardio. Remember, I've taught you
Yes.
to lift. So how many times a week are you lifting weights, and how
3.
many? 3 times
Yeah,
a week.
I
Okay.
would say 3 times a week. But
Yeah.
the classes that I do, it's like a bit of a community.
Yeah.
So I kind of find it hard to come out of that, because I've made like gym
Yeah.
friends.
Okay.
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Like, it's,
So,
it's nice.
yeah.
You've got a vibe. You've got a vibe going on.
And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
like full body,
Yeah.
body, and you still weight, so you can
Yeah.
still play around with that, with like the weight that you use
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Okay, nice. And talk to me about your nutrition, because obviously when I met you, I did explain to you carbs aren't bad.
Yeah.
You can eat real food. You can eat potatoes. You can eat rice, and you're not going to balloon.
I don't know.
So obviously, you know, I'm a big advocate of whole foods.
Yeah.
I always have been. I always will be, because I think they, give you the most health and vigor. How are you running your nutrition at the moment? Like, talk to me about where you're at in terms of that. Like,
So whenever I used to look at like meal preps and things like that, I used to be like, how do you even have the time? How do you even have the energy? You find time.
yeah,
Find time, and it saves you time.
yeah, exactly.
So if you find time to prep and do like 3 days worth of food,
Yeah.
you're saving yourself time. 'Cause you're not cooking every single night.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
That's what I say to people, because people always say
Yeah.
to me, Elliot, you're boring, you eat the same meals every day. I'm like, but the thing is, I can then focus on everything else in my life.
100%.
And it's a routine. So
Yeah.
I know if I want to lose weight and cut for a specific goal, if I eat the same food, okay, it might be boring to you, but then I can focus my life on other stuff, and the food's, it's an autonomous thing. Do you know what I mean?
And organised life like that, you just stay on top of everything.
You do.
You can get other things done as well.
Exactly, you can focus on other stuff. And how are you managing that with your business? As I said to them, you're self-employed, you're running your own business. How do you sort of juggle the fitness routine with your job and running your business and entrepreneur? How do you manage to do that?
I prioritise.
Okay.
Yeah, I prioritise that time.
So do you pre-plan your days?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah. Well, obviously I've got set days for set things. I'm a very mood dependent person.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it depends on how I feel a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Like if I try to attempt to do a leg day and I don't have the energy, I allow myself to not do that and just go for a walk. So I listen to myself if I'm overdoing it. I
like that. I like that mindset of being real in the moment, because I know even today, today's the podcast day, right?
Yeah.
And even this morning, talk to me about that. You weren't having a great day because I saw it and I reached out to you and I was like, "Are you all right?" And you were like, "I'm not having it." Talk to me about that. You was in what happened?
Funk.
You was in a funk. You call it a funk.
Funky mood.
Yeah. Talk to me throughout the day. So what happened?
So I must have woke up on the wrong side of the bed. It was just one of them days where I felt like nothing was on my side. So I just kind of tried to get out of it. I tried to push myself, and I feel like sometimes when we put so much pressure on ourselves, it can go in the opposite direction because we burn out. But I was doing too much. I was like, I still got to go gym. I've still got to do X, Y, Z. Like I was proper pushing it. And then I got to that moment. I was in the gym, started seeing stars.
You were like, "Mate, I'm wavy."
And I was like, "No, this isn't working, and it's okay. Let me go buy a plant."
You bought a plant?
I bought a plant. Yeah.
Therapy right there. Therapy right. Mate, I can appreciate inside decor, don't worry.
It's just one of them days. It's just one of them days. It's okay to have one of them days.
Yeah, I agree. You got to be kind to yourself as well.
100%.
So is that a big tool that you use? So if you know the day's not going right, you'll just be like, right, let me slow down. Let me slow down the gear a little bit, reset, and then just go again the next day.
I find it's about tuning in.
Okay.
I feel like self-awareness is such a skill.
Yeah.
And mastering that, you're pretty much in control of yourself.
Yeah.
So when you are aware of what's going on, it could be anything down to like, am I hydrated?
Yes.
Have I eaten well today?
Yeah.
How much sleep did I get last night?
Yeah.
What's bothering me?
Exactly.
You know? It can be, and obviously us females with our hormones, we can be
all over the place depending on that.
We're not ourselves. We're not. And then sometimes it just takes them few hours just to disconnect, to then reconnect, and then we keep it stepping.
I like that. That's a good thing. Yeah, because I always say to people, could be fitness, could be life, is focus on controlling the controllables. So if you know you're having a bad morning, think to myself, right, go through the list. Like you just said, hydration. A lot of times people are dehydrated. Sleep deficit. No one sleeps 7 to 8 hours anymore. I think a lot of that, we could diverse into that for a whole hour, but I think a lot of that is social media, electronics, being up too late, they're not winding down. Then you've got your nutrition. If you're eating takeaways all the time, you're going to feel like crap, right? Do you know what I mean? So I think, like you said, if you're in tune with what's going wrong, you can manage it. Whereas if your life is just unorganized and all over the place, how are you ever going to manage these stresses? You're always going to be, like, do you know what I mean? Feeling good one moment, feeling terrible the other moment. So
it's hard because I feel like as well, it takes to get to a certain place in your life to then feel like this isn't the way of life I want to live. So I need to make a change. And then when you make them positive changes and have them healthy habits, you know what works for you. Like routine, like I said, might not work for everyone, but for a lot of people it does. Children feel safe in routine.
They do.
Us as adults, our inner children feel safe in routine
I agree.
too. So I think that's a big thing to stand by. So
let me ask you, what is your motivational driving force? Because me, personally, I know what mine is. Like, it's my career, I'm a bodybuilder, I want to keep progressing. So for me, I've got a set in stone. So no matter what day it is, I'm coming to the gym. Because I've got that long-term goal. And also short-term, medium goals. I might have a holiday booked, or I might have... So I've got my specific passions as to why I keep going. What's your driving force? What motivates you to keep going, maintain your physique, and kind of just keep rolling with it?
Oh, it's my mental.
Okay.
100%. I know that.
So that's the biggest benefit for you?
Yeah, 100%. I know that when I'm outside the gym, after I've done the school run, I am a different person to who I am when I'm walking out the gym. Like, I'm completely different. I feel better, I feel uplifted. It almost triggers circuits in your brain. It's actually a known thing that it triggers circuits in your brain, as in like the good feeling. Obviously you've got the endorphins, the dopamine,
you get the serotonin
and all of that. And that is addictive. Like, just like any other addiction, it's addictive, and when you struggle with mental health in itself, it's a good addiction to have. Definitely.
I agree. So talk to me about the topic of mental health, because I feel like you talked about self-awareness. Mental health is becoming a thing where people are actually realising, it doesn't matter what gender you are, men, women, it doesn't matter, right? Mental health is very, very, very important. And I feel like it's been heightened ever since the pandemic, where people have been in sort of an imprisoned state. They've come back to what we would call normality. And some people I think haven't recovered from that. And I feel like people aren't deep in it and being aware of it. Talk to me about sort of your struggles with mental health that you may have had over the past years and what you do to sort of combat it.
So I would say that I've always been a person, anyway, that I'm so open about it, because I feel like when you're closed off, you kind of shut yourself away from even figuring it out for yourself. Because when you're in a battle with your own mind, it's like having a conversation constantly. You're backwards and forwards. But when you actually discuss and talk to someone, especially someone that's experienced it and have found tools to help them, you pass that on. Like, I genuinely feel in my job that I do, I've helped people. Like,
so you've like counselled them. You've used your real life experiences to help them through traumas.
And that's something that, like, I wasn't given. No one gave me any tools. Was like, here you go, like, this will help you, or this will make you feel better, or it could be the smallest thing, like listening to podcasts. If you have a specific condition and you're not fully aware of it, listening to podcasts can really help with that.
So you being aware, like, it could come back to awareness. Like, you're aware of what's literally what's going wrong, and how do I remedy it?
That's what I'm saying. And it's about, like, being almost like your inner own mother.
Okay.
Like, you have to mother yourself.
But you did that for yourself, because you were saying you had no one. What would be the advice you gave? So let's say one of your friends called you up tonight and they were feeling down, whatever the reason may be. What would be your go-to? Let's say you have top 3 tools of trying to fix that. What would be your go-to for that person? Movement. Just get active.
It just shift. Shift them emotions around your body. And I feel like we have moments. It could be whether it be sadness or emptiness or even impulse. We have these emotions, but they're very temporary emotions, and at the time they don't feel temporary. They feel like they're just there, and sometimes we don't know why they're there, and we just want them to go away. So you might act on them emotions and then cause more of a damage to what's already possibly been done. And I feel like movement is a good way to shift them feelings, because other things can come to light in your mind. Just taking a minute, just sit with it, whatever it is, move. If that doesn't work, then there's always other tools that you can use as well.
First, you're saying move, and then you're saying actually talk about it.
Talk about 100%, don't keep it all bottled in. And just, like, for me personally, it's like wholesome stuff. It could be like baking a cake for someone. Buying a plant.
Yeah, baking a cake. I know you've got legendary baking skills, so you like making people feel good. Like, the amount of times I've had a delivery from this girl, these home baked goods, and I'm like, Ross, something's going on, but I like it. Keep baking, innit?
But everyone has
that's good, man.
a different way, like, for close friends, family, it's a love language, and when you put that love into something like baking a cake, it's like, and you're then giving that, it's good for your soul.
Of course. I like the community feel. I feel like I don't know if it's a UK thing, but lately I'm feeling like everyone is quite shielded and it's not a community anymore. Like, growing up, I used to be like, everything's open house and everyone's bubbly, and now it's like there's a lot of negative energy just circulating. Like, whether it be on social media, whether it be in your friendship groups, it just feels like there's a lot of negativity. Is that something you've experienced? Because I have seen, I don't know when the turning point was. Maybe it was COVID, I'm not sure.
Possibly.
But there's just so much negative energy around us, and I'm like, I'm kind of done with that whole situation.
And it makes you almost want to shut away from it as well. It's sad because, like, it can affect people without even realising that it affects people. Do you know what I mean?
Just digging deeper into that point, what's your opinion on social media linking to mental health? Because I know you've had times on social media where you've liked it and times where you haven't. What's your whole take on social media? Do you think it's great for people's mental health, or do you think it's a trigger point?
Depends on what you're looking at. Because I feel like, just like when you touched on like what you're consuming, it's not always about what you're consuming as in what you're eating.
Yes.
It's about what you're consuming
mentally.
Yeah, and what you're reading, what you're looking at.
Yeah.
And with me, I'm that type of person. I'm a very gullible person. I will pretty much believe anything I read.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and then I'll see the opposite.
Yeah.
And then I'll get confused.
And then you're like, which one is it? And then you've got to start critically thinking about. Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I don't know. Like, and I feel that it's like that for a lot of people. You believe everything you read, everything you see, and that is not the case. But I do watch it rather be food porn or gym porn or mental health things that have helped people, healthy foods, habits and things like that. That's all my story, all my feed
so
is
you,
now.
you get a constant influx of things that make you feel good, which is nice.
Like people going to watch the sunrise.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Like
proper nice scenery and long walks, just feel good factors.
Animals and like plants.
Yeah. But do you know what's beautiful about that is that is a nice case, but I feel like a lot of people just autopilot and they never even deep it like that. Like, because you can fine tune your algorithm. You can cull stuff you don't want. You can basically fine tune it. But I feel like some people just autopilot and then they don't like deep why they're not happy in that situation. Where it's like, if you don't like something, just get rid of it and like focus on what you do enjoy.
I feel like social media to a lot of people is just a distraction, and I feel like a lot of it is a bit of an illusion. And so I try not to get too sucked up in it. Although saying that, the other day I was having a pretty bad day, and like I was saying about the emotion thing, the impulse feelings. I was feeling like that, feeling like I was going to act on it. And I sat there and I did scroll, and I actually got a bit uplifted from it.
That's nice.
I came across something that was uplifting for me, and it motivated me. It was actually a motivational talk.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that helped.
This is what I'm saying. It can be. It depends on really how you're gonna. Do you know what I mean?
What you consume.
Yeah. Talk to me about your business. How's your business? Because you run this thing on your own. You always have. How did it start? How's it going? How are you maintaining it? How's things?
So when I've been self-employed now, I think for about 5 years. I would say. I worked in a salon. Beforehand, and it's going well. But obviously COVID affected it quite badly. Of course. But other than that, it's pretty good. There's a lot of lash techs and stuff out there at the minute.
Yeah. So is it quite a saturated market?
Yeah.
So how do you differentiate yourself from other lash techs to keep going? Because you know this is like, ultimately the bills lie on you. Like, how do you handle that emotion of knowing that you're the responsibility?
I feel like when you're kind of, you haven't had a way out of that. I feel you don't really know any different. It's kind of like you just get on with it.
Like there is no other choice. There is no other option.
Yeah, and I'm built that way of I don't have a fallback plan, and I feel like that also motivates you because you don't have a choice in it. So, and especially when you have someone else relying on you too.
Yeah, like a dependent that you need to provide for. Then, I wouldn't have it any other way, if I'm honest. Yeah. So let's link back to your fitness. Let's go back to your nutrition. Okay. So I know recently we're in March now, and we were planning to give you a bulk or a lean bulk, right? And I know you struggled with that process, right? So obviously, as you know from me, in order to build muscle, you need to be in a surplus, which means you're going to need to gain body fat. And you're going to need to get stronger.
No one told you feel like a potato.
That's what I'm saying. But it's part of the process. It's part of the process, right? But what I'm saying is, we talk about mental health, and this comes part of it in terms of fitness. So in order for you to gain the necessary muscle that you want, you need to bulk, and you need to gain body fat, a bit of fluff, as you call it. Talk to me about when you started that process and when you decided to cull the process early. That was all mental, right?
Yeah.
And was that just purely because you didn't like how you felt eating more food, or?
It's crazy because although I was in control of my calories, I didn't feel in control of what effect it was having on my body.
Yes.
And I'm still in the pattern of weighing myself, which is silly. Yeah. But it's like a natural thing. I wake up in the morning,
every day?
I brush my teeth, and I step on the scales. And the funny thing is, I even threw a pair of scales away, but then I ordered another pair on Amazon. Because I was like, they must be wrong because I put on way too much weight for that to say.
But is that the only metric you track, or do you? Because you can get scales that actually track your muscle mass.
We had this chat, didn't we? I went onto the one in the gym, and they told me my BMI was like almost over. So that's something, a habit that isn't too great that I need to get out of. I think measurements are definitely more important.
They are, and visuals, but also BMI is not accurate for athletes. So people that train regularly resistance training, because your muscle mass is so much higher, you can be classified as obese when you're actually perfectly healthy. But what I feel like you need, the main things that you need to track is your muscle mass, your bone density, you know, the water within your body. A lot of people are dehydrated. Like these other metrics are so much more beneficial for you, because there could be a month where you stay the same weight, you plateau physically on the scales, but you look at yourself and you're like, wow, I look leaner, I've gained muscle mass, because muscle is twice the size of fat. So you could be 10 stone 5, for example, at the beginning of the month, 10 stone 5 at the end of the month, and you look completely different in 4 weeks. So like, that's why I'm saying weight is not the be all and end all. Do you know what I mean?
Of course. I think it does genuinely come down to how you feel.
Yes.
In clothes, and if you feel. And don't get me wrong, I have days where I feel strong. I feel strong, I feel powerful, and I'm like, oh, I can
roll into the gym and just bust something right now.
This is okay. And then I have some days I'm like, nah, I'm a potato. I can't deal with this, I'm going for a walk.
Okay. So what are you doing with your nutrition at the moment? How many calories are you eating? How many meals are you doing? Are you a snacker? Are you like what?
Oh, I'm a major snacker.
You like snacking?
I'm a grazer. Yeah.
You like that? If it fits your macro snacking style.
I love a snack.
You like that?
Yeah, I'm a tea and a snack.
Tea and a snack.
Tea and a snack all day long.
So talk to me through your typical daily routine in terms of everything. So your routine, school run, business. What meals would you eat? Like, how would you implement the fitness into your lifestyle?
So I would always put the fitness at the beginning of the day.
Okay.
Because I feel like when you do it at the end of the day, you can sit there with it and talk yourself easily.
Yeah, you got more excuses to just be like, allow it today. I'm not doing leg day.
I've done it before where I'm like, oh, I'll just go tonight. Does that happen? No, it does not happen. No. That should be your time to unwind. Yeah. Your time to chill. And I feel like with everyone's busy lifestyle, we all live busy lifestyles, there always has to be a period of the day where you take a minute for yourself. Yeah. And that's obviously people have got kids and everything like that, but even if it's just 5 minutes in a dark room, just disconnect and just tune in with yourself, make sure you're good, and then keep it moving. Yeah. And that's my time in the evening. That's my snack, and
that's your snack, and detox and think about everything.
That's the evening time. That's for me.
So all right, so start the morning straight with the fitness.
Yeah, with school run, which is a good motivation for me because I haven't got a choice.
You ain't got a choice. Yeah, exactly.
So I'll do the school run and then go straight to the gym.
Okay. And then would you eat? So have you consumed food before then? Are you fasted? Do you train fasted?
No, I learned from you, didn't I?
Yeah, exactly.
I have to eat
you
before
carbs,
leg day.
Man. Listen, you can't be going to the gym empty. I mean, you can, but like, the goal is to lift as much weight as possible. Yeah. So you need some fuel, right?
And food is energy.
Yeah.
That's something that I didn't.
Could get your head around.
No, that you're a good thing.
Yeah.
Do you know
it is a good thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So what would you eat for what are you currently, what's your breakfast options at the moment? Like, what are you eating?
I love a bit of Weet-Bix.
Okay. Yeah.
I do love a bit of Weet-Bix. Yeah. Weet-Bix, honey and banana.
Nice. And then post-workout, so you've done your training?
Bagel.
And then lunch?
Chicken salad.
And then snacks?
Protein bar.
And then dinner?
Then maybe another snack. Fruit, I graze on fruit a lot.
Yeah.
And then dinner will be like chicken, salmon, or I was doing the whole plant-based thing for a while, but
how did you get on with that?
Sitting well with me, to be honest.
Yeah. Are you feeling a bit depleted, like?
Yeah, I was still feeling hungry half an hour after, so it wasn't really working.
You weren't getting that satiation levels that you needed. But to be fair, that sounds like you're eating a decent amount of food, because I know there's girls out there that'll think all that food she just listed off, that's her daily standard munch. Like, do you know what I mean? Because there's a common misconception, girls think they need to eat nothing to get in shape.
Yeah, no.
And it's like, that's not
I'm obsessed with watching these videos on Instagram of what I eat in a day. These things. I'm like,
they come up in your algorithm.
She looks great.
You're like, bro, she looks nice. What's she
eating?
I
want to follow what she's eating.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I'm like, hold on, she had a whole bag of buttons. I mean, I can have a whole bag of buttons.
You're like, I want to be able to eat what that girl's eating. Do you know what I'm saying?
No. But it's okay. Like, you can have a day. It's fine.
You can.
Yeah. That's another thing that I've learned. Yeah. It's okay, you can't eat what you want.
It is okay to slip up and have whatever and just, do you know what I mean? We're all human. With eating, I feel like it's, you know what, we talked about routine. Yeah. And we were talking about like, you need to build a solid routine. It's also the same with food. So like, if you eat a certain amount of meals for a certain amount of time, your body will get used to that. And then you can add to it. And this is how these people build. Like, I've got girls that are like 60 kg, which is like 10 stone 5, whatever. And they eat 2,200 calories and they've got desk jobs. And it's like, but they built that over 6 months. They didn't just jump to that because they would have got fluffy straight away. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, fluffy, right? So you need to start on a baseline. So when you have a routine, you have a baseline. So if you're just going to constantly eat whatever and go up, down, feel good, not feel good, be fluffy, not like if you never establish that, you can never establish your metabolism baseline. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like that's very important. So like with you, you've got your routine. So if you just slowly add to it, you can maintain your physique and eat more. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you just see these girls, how is she eating 2,200 calories and staying lean? but she didn't just do that overnight. Like, she didn't go from eating 1,1500 to 2,200 because her body would have just gained body fat. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. And I also think as well, it's not just what you do in the gym, it's also the movement you do around it, depending on what you're trying to achieve.
Exactly, just like
movement,
activity and steps.
100%.
Like, is your base form of cardio just steps, or do you do any other additional cardio work?
I do HIIT classes.
Okay.
So yeah, they're quite heavy cardio, I would say. So do that 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And then I'll do 10 to 15k a day.
That's active. You've got good expenditure, man. Like, you're active.
No, it is, but I don't kick myself anymore. I used to, when I used to not reach 15k of steps.
Like, you'd feel guilty if you didn't reach it.
100%. I'd be walking to the shop at 8 p.m. like...
You're like, I have to do this now.
Looking at the stars, like, I have to do this. And it just wasn't enjoyable anymore. I got to that point where I was like, this is too much. This is like, I'm really pushing it here. That was all my... doing.
But the big thing is, it is health and fitness, and you know, like we were saying, it's an addiction. It can become a negative addiction when you're doing too much.
Yes,
like you're just doing too much. Like, you don't.
I have to go for a walk.
Yeah.
Like, even down to, like, I say to my best friend, I say, I'm just going for a walk for my stupid mental health, because I'm like, I know I have to do that to feel better.
To feel better.
Yeah, and to clear my head and to do everything that I'm supposed to do instead of just sitting around. Yeah,
but sometimes the rest is what you need.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like, you need to just.
I find that hard too.
Yeah.
Unless I'm on a beach somewhere, I don't
just
know.
chilling on a Barbados beach, chilling. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
if only. All right, guys. So part of tradition is that I'm gonna arm wrestle every single guest that comes on Table Talks. So my girl S, I'm gonna show me what she's got. What kind of power is in here. I'm not gonna break your arm, don't worry. We're gonna do a little
I'm gonna break your arm.
I'm saying, you're bust my arm. I'll be injured. I'm not gonna be able to train my clients. You know what I'm saying? All right, so jump up, bust your chair out of the way. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right.
You're right-handed.
Yeah.
You're right-handed, yeah?
Yeah.
Right,
Why were you?
Sick. Yeah, I'm right-handed. I'm
okay,
right-handed. I'm right-handed. Elbow down. Show me what you're made of. Grip me the thing. Ready?
No.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, not bad. Come on, give it some. No, give it some. No, elbow's got to stay down. Elbow's got to stay down. Go again. Elbow's got to stay down. No, don't break yourself. Right, one more time. Ready? Go on, pin me. No, the elbow's got to stay down. Use your body weight. Go on. Shall I put you out of your misery or what?
Go on, Ned. Screw you.
So, guys, Table Talks with my girl S. She's just ripped my arm off. My bicep snapped in half now. Thanks for that. But thank you very much for coming on the show.
No, thank you for having
we discussed everything: fitness, mental health. You basically being a boss gal, running your life, and being a motivation to the local community. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it, and appreciate having you on.
Thank you. Bye, G.
My G. That's it, man.